Hi friends, happy Thursday. It's a little bit later in the day than usual for a daily message, and I feel inspired to connect because of how unusual this week has been, at least for me personally. And the word for today is intensity, that intensity of shadow and the intensity of patterns being released. So remember that we're in a powerful eclipse cycle, and that this eclipse is a mirror image of the eclipse we experienced last August. So last August we experienced a full moon in Aquarius when the sun was in Leo, and then this last week we experienced a full moon eclipse in Leo with the sun in Aquarius. And so both of these polarities are activating our consciousness and our expansion into what we call the age of Aquarius through the activation of our creative fire and the underlying kundalini vitality of life force that helps us embody and connect with our inner strength and our inner power. This card in the Thoth deck is called Lust, and in most decks it's called Strength, and it refers to our inner strength and our inner fire. Whereas the Aquarius star card is the light of consciousness and the light of the fire that emerges as we radiate the truth of who we are. I absolutely love working with these two cards together and the way in which they dance with each other. So that's the big picture experience of what is happening right now with the eclipse activation. And the nitty gritty practicality of it is that deeply seated patterns are being released in order to allow us to expand. And the way in which they're releasing because of the eclipse is at quantum speed. So you may be experiencing it as quantum manifestation, quantum activation, quantum meaning beyond what we perceive in 3D time space reality. Propelled manifestation, propelled activation, or really intense and disconcerting physical experiences, emotional experiences. And the reason I want to bring this forward is because I will just tell you on a personal level, this eclipse has been kicking my butt. And there have been a couple of days this week, yesterday included, when I have not been able to get underneath the way in which I have felt disoriented. And I haven't been able to get back to center. I'm very much used to having that experience momentarily or even for a couple of hours, but the length of it have taking place over a couple of days, and also the intensity of it was honestly really disconcerting and almost a little bit scary. And I will say scary only because when I'm off balance the way I was the last couple of days, I can't move forward and access my own projects and plans for the week. So I'll say scary because I didn't want it to derail me from some special things that are happening. So if you can tell, I'm feeling much better today. I'm feeling normal. I'm online. I'm tired physically because I haven't been sleeping, but that doesn't matter as long as I feel connected to myself. For the last 2 days, I didn't, and I had help. I felt all of a sudden last night around 10 o'clock, I reconnected, and it's been a super interesting few days. That's all I can say right now. And I want to encourage you that these activations are real, and what's being released is real. And so even if you are super uncomfortable, know that there's something bigger happening. And I'm coming to you now to say that I'm back in a space where I can hold space and support and share what's going on. The last couple of days, I wasn't. I really needed some help. And I'll say, even physically, the last 2 days, especially yesterday, even my face, the way I was experiencing the activation was through anxiety and stress that I couldn't access. It was subconscious, but it was literally erupting in my face. And I don't know if you can still see, my face is splotchy, but the last 2 days it was covered. Yesterday it was covered in these huge red spots that looked like burns. And they're already receding because it was so much energetic. and I'm feeling much better. And so the healing is happening fast. That was one of the ways in which the energies that were buried in my body could come out. I'm sharing all this just because I have no idea what intensity you might be experiencing, if it's happening emotionally, if it's happening physically, if it's happening mentally, or all. Just know that, especially if something's come up suddenly, it's because it's moving through your system. And ask for help if you need an outside container to hold things stable for you while you readjust and allow that energy to release. So what I've been doing, I have the cards here from the eclipse spread that I pulled a few days ago, and I've had these out in my living room, and I'm just like working with this practical advice and trusting and praying, and as I said, I'm back online today and feeling so much relief about that. So remember that the message from the cards we received about this release of shadow patterns is in the world and realm of physical, to as much as possible return to inner calm. This is the card Peace, Two of Swords, for meditation and quiet mind. So as much as possible, return to your breath and release the thoughts of fear that are emerging, and know that you can allow them to move through. You don't need to attach to them. In the awareness of the mind, the Six of Swords science is saying to know that those grids are there and that you're being held. Even the card came up reversed, even if you don't feel it yourself, even if you feel that your personal grids of stability are a little bit wonky right now or cattywampus, know that that's part of the process, and do as much in your body to breathe and drop back into your body and breathe and allow the shifting to happen. It's part of the tower process. And then in the realm of spirit, we received the card for the full moon in Leo, which is lust. And so it's a reminder that this emergence of shadow and emergence of deep patterns is about connecting us with our inner fire and vitality and light and strength that will enable us to move forward into this amazing year together. And then the final card in the spread was the Three of Discs, strength or works, which is the strength of consciousness, that the choosing to align body, mind, and spirit to create coherence within the heart. The threes are all about strength within the heart and the choice of where we live, which is to move back to center and trust even when things feel terrible, which they sure did for me on a personal level the last couple days. It was super uncomfortable. And so thanks to those of you who've been holding space for me. I know you're there, and I'm reaching out to hold space for you. And one of the images I have about this year is that we'll be holding hands in a circle, riding this amazing year, running together as a pack, having each other's back. There's a bunch of ways to feel the vitality of the year and the movement of the year and the way in which we'll support each other and help each other as we move together. So I am sending love to you today, and thanks again for the grid of support and the ways in which I could rely on the grid the last couple of days when I wasn't feeling well. And I really am inspired about what we're stepping into together this year and the adventures that are going to unfold. So I'd love to hear from you if you have any updates or synchronicities around this message. And I'm going to see a lot of you on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to that, and the rest of you hopefully soon. So have a great day. I'll see you again soon.